Heels Podcast. One handsome devil. Your host, Jack Purcell. Scissor me, daddy ass. Louis Perry, your co-host. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. Faces and Heels Podcast. Jack, you're supposed to click that picture off.
Tonight, the Faces and Heels podcast becomes Money Dragon TV. Thanks to 35 millimeter magic, Louis Perry, who's coughing his head off, might start bleeding, who knows, and Jack Purcell are caught in a moment with a huge rising star in the world of professional wrestling. We have the Money Dragon, Angelo Carter.
The Money Dragon. Look.
What an intro. I gotta say, what an intro. That was everything.
No, it wasn't. It sucked because
okay.
If my voice was better, I would do it for you. But I mean, Jack, you once again, Jack. I mean, come on. We got the Money Dragon here. You know, I mean, you can at least do something, Jack. Jack, you got the Money Dragon, Angelo Carter.
I'm living for this right now. That was
Oh, the black lung, it got me. The tuberculosis. I'm still not feeling good. See, that's how you have to do it, Jack. I tell you, you got to have some soul, some meaning.
Right. He may have one up to you a little bit right there, Jack.
Yeah, hey, it happens every week. But I'm just going to say, I tried to class up my look a little bit for you tonight because I knew you were going to be looking good. And I'm trying to...
He looks sexy. I mean, I love that thing around his eyes. And I mean,
this is just, it's what I do, when I wrestle. But I was like, you know what? Let me bring it to the podcast interview. Let's make it, real cute.
I mean, no, definitely. I mean, I get showed up every Monday night by my two co-hosts, and now I'm getting showed up tonight too. I mean, I live it. So, what do you want?
It's hard for people who are on shows with me to not get shown up by me. I'm just saying. No beef, no shade, or no shade, but no shade.
And I love that you're consistent about
excuse me.
Because even tonight, you're boasting the gold, black, and white, which I think every time I've seen you, you're sporting that color combination.
Yeah, it's like the recent year look that I have that has like the gold and the black and stuff like that. That is inspired by Beyonce. It's inspired by Beyonce look. And I got something new brewing coming soon, but the gold is always going to be like somewhere in there because gold is my favorite color. So I'm always going to incorporate some sort of champagne gold somewhere in there.
Awesome.
Champagne gold. That champagne gold, that could be like a new song. Now I know a couple singers and people. That could be. That's it.
Well, I'm a singer myself.
Really? Because I know another singer. Maybe you and Brandon Clark. Brandon, brother. Oh my God. It's you guys do a duet, and that's going to be your new entrance, and it's going to be called Champagne Gold. That would be perfect.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Mike, that would be cool. You should do your own entrance theme.
Yes.
It's something that I've been like wanting to do for such a long time, and I think it's time that we pull a trigger on it. So
I'll get 3%. I get 3%.
September. Check
I
back
get
in
3.
September, and
All right.
we might have a new theme courtesy
Yeah.
of the vocal
Nice.
pipes of one Angelo Carter.
All
Yeah,
right. Yeah, something to
3%,
look forward
please.
to.
Just enough to buy a comic book. I'll be happy.
Right. Right. So we
Um,
got to quickly just let our listeners' voices be heard as well, because Eric Hunting, who, Angelo, you may know, is definitely a mega fan, says good evening, faces and heels. Pope Pepe says serving realness, and I'm sure he's talking about you. And Eric Hunting says money loves money.
It sure does. Money revolves around money, honey.
yes, it does. So where did you come up with the name Money Dragon?
So I came up with the Money Dragon. Actually a funny story. I wanted to be billed as the icon, but I couldn't really figure out how to make that work. And I one day was listening to Beyonce's visual album Lemonade, or rather, I was watching it. And there's a line in one of her songs, "Don't Hurt Yourself," that is, "I am the dragon breathing fire." And I was like, dragon, 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 dragon. I love that. And, I honestly just put money in front of it. And honestly, the rest is history. And, so Beyonce, that's my mother. That's it.
Okay. Well, that's an
Okay.
awesome origin story right there. And I got to tell you,
Right?
I couldn't possibly contribute to your theme song, but I do have a limited skill set, which includes artwork. So we could talk about that sometime. And we have, and we should pursue that.
Okay.
Pope Pepe said 3% might also be your lung capacity tonight. You got that right, brother. I'm telling you.
You're not wrong.
I've been like this for a week, and if you listened to me last night, the ladies were like, "Boy, you sound awful." Usually, I'm a motor mouth going a mile a minute. I suck tonight, bad. So Jack, take over.
All right. So I got to tell you, I also am really curious about this, and I know we'll bounce around a little bit, but I don't know if this happens all the time. But I know that some of the occasions that I've gotten to see you wrestle live, they announce you as being, I think they say, from in the moment. Like, can you talk a little bit about that? Because I really like that concept that you have. And sometimes when you're cutting a promo, that comes up. So where did that come from? Is that like one of your sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Lewis, your coughing is throwing off my vocabulary tonight. But it's like a mantra of yours.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things that my head trainer, Logan Black, T2T Wrestling, has always tried to teach us to do is, live in the moment, right? And just appreciate the moments in wrestling for what they are. And I feel like every time I walk into the room, I am creating a moment because, I keep the people laughing. I keep the people, whatever, I think that every locker room I've ever been into, I have tried my best to just make it as bright as possible and just, be a fun person. And every show that I've been on, I've always done my best to at least give the people something to talk about. So, if the people can't stop talking about me, that means they just experienced a moment. And so if they just experienced a moment from me, I might as well just go by the moment. So, look, in the words of reality television star Kenya Moore, you're always living in the moment when you are the moment.
Nice.
I would have to agree with Eric Huntington, and he says Logan Black is the best of the best. I knew Logan I knew Logan for many many years, and the dude is just awesome. And I agree with him. How did you get in contact with Logan? I mean, how did you choose him for your sensei? How did you come across his school?
So I have mentioned this before, like previously. I started actually training to wrestle in 2017 with House of Glory. And I didn't stay there for a long time. It was more me. It was more just like, consistency. And there goes one of the rhinestones. Well, you know what? This is like wrestling. Like when I'm in the ring, these things don't stay on for longer than 10 seconds. So you know what? Whatever. This will be our timekeeping for the, for the rest of the night. So yeah, I started at House of Glory Wrestling, and consistency, and different things like that, and issues, and then a couple years go by, lockdown. So we're all sitting in COVID lockdown, and I think COVID lockdown, a lot of us chose to reevaluate, certain things in our life, and maybe pursue things that we hadn't in before, and or hadn't in a long time. And I wanted to get back into wrestling. I actually discovered T2T wrestling through MV Young, who is head trainer over at T2T Pittsburgh now, and who used to be head trainer over here in Brooklyn. And I knew of MV through Big Game Leroy because him and I became friends from House of Glory. So, first day I walked in, and I'll tell you this. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not scared of a single person on the planet. But Logan Black is a very intimidating person on like first time meeting, like whatever. And I was just like, oh, okay. And it was the environment of the school. It's the environment that we've created and curated at T2T Wrestling, which is super inclusive. And, to be a black and queer, right? And there's not many places
Wait a
where
minute,
you're gonna.
you're black?
I'm not going to do this with you today, okay? We are not going to do this, okay? We are not going to do this today, okay? Thanks. No, but yeah, to be, black and queer and to feel accepted enough to finally be able to say that
Mhm.
in public because of the environment that the school has curated for all of us. It's a testament to Logan and just how he has just been incredible to all of us. And every trainer that has walked through the doors, and now we have not just Logan, but we also have Tracy, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, training us.
Mhm.
We also have a CPA who is training us now as well. But we've had Willow Nightingale in our doors. We've had Brother Greatness in the door. We've had MV Young. We've had Big Game Leroy. We've had so many people. And the one thing that they've always said was, you guys are super supportive of each other, and we all want to see each other win and see each other eat. And that is just a testament to the environment that Logan has created. So I will say this all the time. I would be nowhere if he didn't let me, like, legitimately, like, live in his backseat of his car every weekend. Like, where we go? Oh, you're going to grind. You're going this place, that place. Okay, I'm hopping in your car because I want to go with you, and I want to hang out, and I want to meet new people and get on new cards. And I wouldn't be on Blitzkrieg if it wasn't for Logan. I wouldn't have gotten my opportunities with grind if it wasn't for Logan. A lot of the places I wouldn't be if it wasn't for him literally letting me sleep in his basement sometimes. So, I will always give Logan Black his flowers until the end of time.
Jack, you want to read that? Because if I read it, I'll start coughing.
Yes, Eric says once you get to know Logan, he's a beautiful person.
And I would say ditto. Absolutely. First time I approached Logan to do a interview, I was scared because he's intimidating, and he was just like afterwards. He hugged me. Thank you so much. This was great. You're such a fun guy. Fun friends ever since.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. What got you hooked on pro wrestling? I mean, you. Who were your major influences? What was it? A family member that said, "Hey, let's go watch this"? Was it a best friend? What got you hooked? Who put that bug near you that made that bug bite you and said, "Angelo, you are now bitten, and this is now your life"?
When it comes to wrestling, so I was a theater kid growing up, singer, dance, musical theater, all that. I was never really into wrestling because I was just like, oh, just, fighting like ill. But I had always been surrounded by it. Like, I had cousins who watched it and, whatever. I didn't really get into it until summer of 2008. So a lot of people don't really like WWE around that time, the PG era, whatever. I have a very romanticized view of that era because that is the era that made me fall in love with professional wrestling. That, late 2008, early 2009 with, Triple H and Randy Orton and the stacked SmackDown roster, that picture that goes viral on Twitter every couple of months. Like, those were my people, those were the people that I was like, oh yeah, like, I love this. And I want to say it was actually my dad had bought SmackDown versus Raw 2009 for us. And that was really like the nail in the coffin. And that was like, oh, okay, like, I actually have to watch this and be, like, I have to know like the storylines and stuff like that. Fell off of it a little bit, came back around SummerSlam 2014. And from the rest is pretty much history. And, that's really what got me into watching pro wrestling.
So I always associate you closely with New York because since I got to know your work, I've known that was the general area that you were doing a lot of your work. But are you from California originally?
I'm only built from California, honey.
I thought that. Oh, excuse me. When you guys make me laugh, that's when the coughing starts. Yeah, when you guys make me laugh, that's when the coughing starts. I saw the twinkle in his eye, and he leaned forward. I'm like, oh, we're getting a scoop.
I'm only built from California, born and raised in New York.
Oh, right on. Because I know in your social media, even, not only the announcement, I remember hearing at a show, they said I think you were from California. And then I thought,
yeah, Calabasas or Beverly Hills, either one of those.
Okay. Because I just thought, wait a minute, that's got to be wrong. Did he make a mistake?
Wait a minute. Is Calabasas even a real place?
Yeah. I'm very heavily influenced by the Kardashians. My character is very heavily influenced by the Kardashians, and the Kardashians live in Calabasas, California.
Oh my God.
It's a very deep cut. Like, if you knew me, you would know that that's why I'm built from Calabasas. If you didn't know that I'm influenced by the Kardashians, then you wouldn't know. You would just go, oh, Calabasas, California, just somewhere over there in California, or you think it's made up. So there you go. That's one of the secrets.
That's awesome. We're getting like a huge origin story.
Origin story. Absolutely.
This is awesome. So here's what I wonder. And again, maybe to back up for 1 second, though, from the time that you finished your training with Logan or that you did your first professional match, what is your experience in terms of years right now? Like, it's like 1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
So I started, my first match is May 22nd, 2021. So I'm almost 2 years in like working. But October will be 3 years since I started training again.
Gotcha. Because I feel like when I was talking about this earlier, being in the moment, you just seem like one of those performers. Like when I've seen you work, it seemed like a veteran. Like there's like total confidence.
Oh, thank you.
There's no fumfering around. There's no hesitation. It's just boom, 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 go. And I got to say something. I'm a little upset about the result of one match that I'm going to talk about in a minute.
Okay.
Do tell.
But do you think that your background in like theater and performance contributes to your comfort level?
Absolutely. I always say this to I've said this to Logan a bunch of times. I always say this to people. I'm like, I'm a practice is practice, play is play person. So whenever I was like, singing or whatever, it was always practice like you perform, right? And yeah, I could do that, but like when I'm practicing, I'm very much like I'm thinking about everything because I want to make sure that it's absolutely perfect. But when I get in front of the cameras, there is no time to stop, go back, do anything. No, it's the cameras are on, the lights are on, and it is time to give these motherfuckers a moment. And that's what it is.
That's awesome because that feels so legitimate. Like there's certain wrestlers who sometimes you're like, oh, is CPA really a CPA? But like with you, like you never question it. It's always like, oh yeah, this guy's the real deal. And I love that about what you do. And here's my gripe. And I this isn't your fault because you know what, the guy cheated and pulled the tights. But I remember when you were at Grind and you were about to wear gold for the first time there against Top Shelf. And the guy rolled you up and pulled the tights. I was calling bullshit. I might have been the most legitimately hot I've ever been at a show.
So let me tell you something, okay? I don't got no beef with Top Shelf. I like Troy. He's great. You know, he's so incredible at what he does. He definitely cheated, but I know he's wrestling this on Friday. He's wrestling Travis Huckabee, and
Right.
I'll be good and goddamn. I'm rooting for Top Shelf because I'll be good and goddamn before I root for Forehead to win anything. Okay,
Wow.
him
Wow.
and his mistress, Mrs. Skyros, they need to figure it out. Okay, they could go somewhere, but I'm rooting for Top Shelf Troy Nelson to win.
Well,
But
Travis has been asking for this fight for quite a while.
yeah, and I am looking forward to seeing Troy whoop his ass up and down the Pulaski Club, and that's what's going to happen.
We're going to be there, and I hope
Yeah.
if
I'm
you're
even
there,
going.
if you're
Yep.
there, we'll be seeing you and buying
Oh
you
yeah,
a drink.
hopefully I'll be there. I'm there too. Like I'll try to. Hopefully I can make it. I'm a little busy today, but hopefully I can make it to grind.
All right. Well, I'll be hanging out near the bar to buy you a drink if you're there.
He's like, I said, I'll be the guy coughing, and Angela's like, what? No.
Like he wants to
I'll
stand next to
my.
you, especially while you're coughing.
Yeah, I know. Eric Hunting has 2 comments, and I'm saving the second one for last. Jack, why don't you read that one first?
Okay. 2 years. Damn, you were extremely talented. Yes, sir. He called him Forehead. Ha.
Yeah. Forehead, that was pretty funny. My kids call each other Forehead. That's pretty funny.
Oh my. Well, Travis Huckabee is cruising, and this is going to be a great match. I am looking forward to it. I bought the birthday boy a ticket, so he's going to be coming to this grind show.
Yay.
And really looking
my birthday was like last month, though.
Exactly. I know.
I was about to say, when's your birthday? Oh my gosh.
It was February 19th. Jack's a little late.
Happy belated.
Yeah, well, thank you. You can buy me a comic book. No. Hey, I have no shame. I don't care.
Look, you know what? But you know what? Like, if you don't get it unless you ask.
That's right. 2 comics? No.
You're doing a little bit too much.
Knowing the party's over.
Yeah, one was cute, 2 is 20. Okay.
One of my favorite questions to ask, and I usually save it for the end, but I'm going to ask it now. What was it like the first time you walked out of Gorilla and saw someone holding up a sign with your name on it? Did that happen yet?
I don't think that's happened yet.
Really? I'm surprised.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, I'm really surprised.
I'm looking forward to the day I see a sign that says, Money Dragon and Angela. I think I might like. Oh my God, for me, I'm looking forward to it, but it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
I mean, you've only been in the ring, like you said, for such a short period of time. I mean, this is fresh, so it's going to be happening, and I'm certain someone with some artistic ability is going to do you justice.
Look, I'm ready.
Awesome. Well,
are you talking about me? Or are you talking about you?
No, I wasn't talking about you. But here's something. It was funny because I just saw Rip the other day, but I really hope that we get you back on Pro Wrestling Grind, because I think it was.
Say that again. Say it louder.
We need you on Pro Wrestling
Grind.
We need you in East Hampton, Mass, at the world famous Pulaski Club at this show happening this Friday. I've got a T-shirt design debuting.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's going to be so cool. Okay, so I'm definitely going to do my best to try and make it so I can get your little T-shirt. Yeah, right, I mean, Bison office, hello. You heard what they said? The people.
Bison, you must book the Money Dragon. Do you hear me?
Absolutely.
Book him.
Yep.
Yes, and we know Rip and Delmy have both been guests. I used to be neighbors with him, as Lewis loves to point out. But
yeah, he used to stalk him.
I will make sure to touch base with him and reiterate that point. But I don't want to. I know I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to say anything that's going to get either of us in trouble. But I'm excited about your appearance at the debut of Blitzkrieg Pro in Vermont, and that's going to be on Sunday. and you're on the marquee as the top stars being promoted. And I can't talk about the specific match, but I can at least say that you're in a tag match with Jay George.
Yeah. So one thing is March. This show is actually 1 year since I made my Blitzkrieg debut with Jay George. So this, it's a 1 year, extravaganza since 35 millimeter magic, since the merging, since the partnership of Jay George Productions and Money Dragon TV became a thing. So now we're doing a whole 1 year anniversary, party. It's going to be huge. It's going to be phenomenal, fantastic. And first, we got to get over the hump of whoever we're wrestling. Whoever we're wrestling, they should know one thing, and that is, you can't beat me up. Like, you can't beat us. Like, it's cute. You may think you can, blah, 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 whatever. But, like, you can't beat us up.
They may try.
They may try, but I think, barring what happened at the last show aside, we were running a little bit of we beat Shook Crew back in November.
Right.
Whatever happened, we don't address what happened at the last show. Okay. But we're going to roll through whoever we beat this time, because we are making our way toward Miracle Generation so that we can get those Blitzkrieg Tag Team Championships. And that's just it.
Well, you beat me to the punch. I mean, I was going to ask you guys certainly got to have your eyes on the Miracle Generation, and they're red hot right now. Those guys have like gold all over the place, and you need some of that.
Literally. Yep. Yeah, like y'all don't need all of that. Like y'all don't, like it's just weighing y'all down. It's keeping y'all, you know what I'm saying? It's keeping y'all like you just take 2 of them off. They just so happen to be the Blitzkrieg ones. Just hand them to us. You don't even got to fight us for it, because y'all can't beat us either. Just hand it to us. That's it.
Yeah, there's no need to get hurt.
There's no need for them to get hurt or embarrassed on Beyonce's internet. Like, just give me the belts. That's it.
Fair enough.
They have to be on a silver platter.
Just hand it to me. Like that. I'll gladly accept it, shake hands, and we can go about our merry way.
Yeah, I mean, you're a good sport like that. And here's something surprising. And I wonder, like, what you think about this, because initially when I first discovered your work, I just thought of you as a singles wrestler. But then, like you said, a year ago at Blitzkrieg, 35 millimeter magic was born, and you guys have had many tag team matches. But I almost felt like as a singles wrestler, you've already got such a rich presence that it's almost like there's too much going on in a tag team match for you to share the ring with Jay George, because he's also got a whole thing going on. So, like, do you feel like that works for you? Do you prefer a singles match or a tag match, or does it matter?
Sometimes it doesn't matter. I think I definitely love working singles matches, just because I feel like people really get the full experience of who Angelo is in a singles match. And you really get to see what it is that I can do. You really get to, like I said, you get that full experience. You get that full vibe. Like, this is who Angelo is 100%. However, when I broke in as a tag team with my former tag team partner, Indigo, right, who, we were breaking in as a tag team. So that was, I still carry a lot of those tag team things with me that we were doing. So, I mean, I'm down for whatever. I love tag team wrestling, but I love working singles because, again, it gives you that full experience of who Angelo is.
Right. I think that's really well stated. And something else, I was going to say this, but I'm going to skip ahead because I just saw Eric Hunte made another comment, and I was going to ask you about this too. Maybe more of a request than a question, but Eric says we need Angelo in Wrestling Open as well, which is one of those things I was going to say to you. I think you would be such a perfect fit at Wrestling Open.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's something that you follow on IWTV.
Yeah, I love Open. I've been there a few times, a couple tryout matches and things like that. I'm definitely looking forward to when I can go back and, make it a much more consistent thing and, be able to debut in front of that Worcester crowd is insane. I think I've only been in front of the Worcester crowd one time, And that was when I ran out at the grind show at Restival to save Logan from, Manders or whatnot. And that was, like that crowd, that Worcester crowd is literally insane. So,
Yeah.
having been to the few open shows that I've been to, I am super excited to one day debut for Open and really start to, build some buzz over there.
Us
Yeah.
Massachusetts people are crazy.
You said it, not me.
I just think that crowd would really embrace what you do. I think you'd be such a perfect fit. There's nobody like you. You'd really stand out. And I think there's, like you mentioned, Brother Greatness and the Shook Crew and Brick City Boys. There's just so many amazing talents. CPAs.
So many people. So many different like talents and so many different like people that are there. Like so many different vibes. Like definitely. I totally want to make it there.
Yeah, no, I agree. He needs to come up north.
So do you spend a lot of time watching like every promotion you can? Like for me, like IWTV is the greatest $100 or whatever it is that I spend every year because I just have an endless amount of stuff that I'm never gonna get through. Do you spend a lot of time watching that? Do you review your own matches?
So I've always been like this since I was younger. When it comes to watching my own shit, I will put it off for a long time. I will hate it. I will like the first time I watch any of my own matches back, I will go, oh my God, I hated this. And it's just a me thing, but I've started like getting out of that and going like, oh my gosh, like, okay, this match was actually really good, stuff like that. But to answer your original question, I watch whatever I can, whenever I can. Right now on my IWTV, I think I am getting ready to watch all of last year's Beyond shows. And then, watch this year's Beyond shows. There's another promotion that I've been watching. I just want to watch as much wrestling as I can, absorb as much wrestling as I can. And, create a healthy balance between watching wrestling and watching reality television. Because it was very much a 70-30 for a hot minute, and I was watching more Housewives than wrestling. I mean,
Lewis is going to admit something in a minute.
Oh my gosh!
Nope, not going to. No, I'm too busy editing footage and putting podcasts out and
reading Superman,
reading Superman, reading Batman, reading X-Men, and reading the Avengers, and playing with my toys and playing video games. So no,
there's a lot going on. So I guess my other question that Lewis sort of accidentally walked me into is, do you have any hobbies or like anything nerdy you love besides the reality TV stuff that you mentioned? Like, are you a gamer? Do you do any graphic novels?
I'm totally I love video games. I don't know if you probably can't hear it because it's so low, but I literally have my PS5 on in the background.
What are you playing?
I replay a lot of games. Like I'm replaying Uncharted 4 right now.
Oh my God, it's incredible. Did you see the movie?
I hated the movie.
Are you serious? I got goosebumps when they played Drake's theme, and when he put the thing on. Oh my God! I was like, "That's Nathan Drake." Oh my God!
I just hated how they did the character. Like to me, I've played all the Uncharted games a million times over. But to me, it didn't feel like Nate and Sully. It felt like
Sully didn't. The cutscene at the end did when Sully busted out. When he had the mustache and the cat, that did. But the second that he jumped through and he put on the strap and they played
I'll say, when they played the theme, I kind of got goosebumps there.
Yeah, even the second time I watched it, I got goosebumps. I'm like, yes, this is Uncharted. Now, I didn't like how they renamed that was Nadine. And they renamed the girl Nadine and then they killed her. I did not like that.
Yeah.
And, excuse me again. Did not like that at all. What did you think of The Last of Us? Did you play that?
I haven't. So I played The Last of Us. I have a funny story about The Last of Us. So I played it when it not when it first came out, but when I had got a PS4 and finally was like, I'm going to not be a chicken about zombie video games. I'm going to
Oh
play
my
it.
God, no! Are you? Wait a minute.
I'm a
About
chicken.
20 minutes ago, you said you're not afraid of anything.
Except for,
I
look,
will.
you can run it
No,
back.
no,
You
I
can
will
run
run
that.
it.
You can absolutely run it back. I'm not afraid of nothing. In asterisk at the bottom in very small font, except for zombies. Okay, because
Okay.
no. All right, and spiders. You can put spiders there too, even though Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Look. Okay, but what? So okay, The Last of Us. It's the clicker sound that drives me
Oh.
berserk.
Okay.
So there
All
was
right.
a time we had like a really bad snowstorm here in New York, and like I was walking down the block in neighborhood, blah blah blah, and it's not quite the neighborhood that you want to be in at night during a snowstorm. And I just remember, I don't know if it was a car that had backfired or something like that, but all I hear is the sound of the clickers. And I had just been playing the game. So I don't know how I got to the train station. It was an elevated train station in New York. I don't know how I got up there. I must have scaled the side of the motherfucker because I ended up on the platform, and I looked and I saw people, and I blacked out for like a good 10 minutes. Like, I don't know how I got there, but the one thing you are not going to do is catch me with the damn cordyceps virus. It's not happening. Not today, Satan, at all. We're not doing it. However, I have since finished the first game.
Really? All right. The second game, I finished the second game. Replay value for me is just horrible because I did not like the second game.
To each his own. I haven't finished the second game.
Do you know what happens? Do you know what
I
happens?
do.
That's what turned me off. I was like, "Come on!" I mean, and the end of the game was just it was just so depressing. I mean, the end of the first game was depressing, but it was
Yeah,
just it was a
depressing, hopeful.
depressing. Yeah, it was a depressing, hopeful. The end of the second game, it was just like she's no. I'm like, come
I
on.
I actually, because I had watched like I had watched like one of my favorite YouTubers like review the game and just do like a whole 5-hour review on it.
Yeah.
And I actually really, really like part two. Like, I really like the ending.
Really?
I do. Like, I think that,
Well, I mean,
I love storytelling. Just, I
well, it
love
was
when
a
people,
terrific story, but I mean,
yeah,
her wife left her. She got no
yeah, but
kid now.
the
Her
thing
father, her
is, it's
adopted father's dead. It's like, come on, she got
revenge
nothing.
consumes you to the point where you open up your eyes and everything is gone. And
I
you only
know.
have yourself to blame for that. And I really love looking behind, like reading between the lines and looking behind the veil of a lot of these stories and looking at the themes.
But the thing
And
is, it wasn't her revenge, though, Angelo. It was freaking Abby's revenge. Abby was the one who went after Joel and Tommy.
right, that's the thing. Revenge consumed the both of them. At the end of
Hmm.
the look, spoilers, child. I don't know. Look,
Yeah, I know.
y'all.
Well, the
I
game is
hope y'all
4 years
play.
old. The game is 4 years old. Let's talk
There you
about it.
go.
Screw
Cool,
it. I
cool.
don't care.
So, at the end, Abby, went on this crusade and attacked Joel, and now you have Ellie coming after her and killed all of Abby's friends, and now what was it? What was the time jump? The time jump was like a year, right?
It
From
was
the 3 days.
it was 5 years because Ellie is now she's like 20 something years old,
Right.
and
Okay,
and she's and Joel knows that she was a lesbian. She's a lesbian now,
well, no.
and
The time jump between the Washington, the 3 days in Washington to the end of the game where they go to
oh
Kimberly's
yeah,
island.
that
Yeah.
was a 10-year jump because Abby lost all of her muscle and everything, and that's when Ellie found her because that's when
Right.
they had
So revenge, like all of Abby's friends are dead. She's with the little, like all she has is this little boy now, and she has already made that that mindset of like revenge is consumed. Like, I lost all of my friends because I took something away from somebody who
Mhm.
took something away from me. But it's the cycle of revenge that keeps going, and Ellie had to learn that lesson because she was still so angry. And then at the end, when she's just like, fuck, like I'm sitting in the water, I lost both of my fingers. I'm gonna go home and Dina and the baby's gonna be gone. I'm not, and I think the end is so beautiful when she's trying to play guitar and she realizes she can't. And it's just like, this is what I did to myself. and now I have
Yeah,
to live with
I
that.
don't, all right. I'll play the game again, and then I'll message you and see if because of what you just said, if I feel
Yeah,
different. You know, right now
I mean, to each his own, but yeah.
I'm playing the Ghost of Tsushima right now, and
Oh,
I
I
dig it.
love Ghost of
Oh,
Tsushima.
I
Oh,
know,
every
isn't
time I
that
play that game.
fantastic? I
I
mean,
haven't
I
played
didn't
the
even.
game since it first come out. Like I gotta play it again.
I got it. I got PlayStation Plus Premium, so I got it for free with
Oh,
all the
okay, okay, okay.
DLC. Dude, I'm dig.
So good,
Excuse me. I am digging this game
so good.
so
Have
much.
you played Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, I got it. We got to hook up and play it then. Definitely, because I'm playing it by myself. So
I
yeah, for sure.
love Guardians of the Galaxy. That game was so good. And I think so many people were like writing it off because of how the Avengers
The
went and Square
characters look.
Enix did
Yeah.
both. And you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we all disliked the Avengers video game. They could have
Hmm.
done way better with that IP. But Square Enix took Guardians of the Galaxy and did such a good job with that game.
Rocket. I mean, yeah, we
It's
got.
so good.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
it
so
is.
good.
No,
It's so good.
afterwards, we got to get back to wrestling talk before we start losing. Whoa! It is time for wrestling trivia.
Ooh, oh my God. I'm so bad at tests.
Old school wrestling trivia brought to
Oh,
us
I'm so bad at tests. I'm gonna fail all of this.
Alternate Universe LLC. Next tomorrow is free. Excuse me, free comic book day. We got two locations, one in Milford and one in New Haven. Make sure you stop by and see Eric and the guys, and get yourself some comic books. Jack, are you ready?
Ready to lose as always.
Okay. Who was known as the Triumvirate of Terror? Was it the Grand Wizard, Freddie Blassie, and Captain Lou Albano, the Fabulous Freebirds, the original DX, or Bobby Heenan, Johnny Valent, and Jimmy Hart? Angelo, go first.
Man, half these wrestlers, these people in here gonna tell me to burn my boots, okay? They're gonna be like, oh, you don't know that this person is that you need to burn your boots. Kiss my ass to everybody who's about to tell me to burn my boots, okay? Kiss my black ass. Kiss it. Okay. I'm just I don't think it was Original DX because I know Original DX. That was one of my favorite. The Original DX is actually my favorite tag team of all time.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with the first one.
Whoa.
Me too. The Grand Wizard, Freddie
Grand
Blassie, and
Wizard.
Captain Lou Albano.
My God, you are both correct. Wow. I am
Okay, we're doing
impressed.
good.
You both, Jack is now 2 for 2, and you both get a no prize. Look at that. And even Eric Hunting comes in and says Wizard and Company. Eric, you get a no prize as well, my friend. Wow, I'm going to have to step up my game if Jack got it right 2 weeks in a row. Look at
You
that.
underestimated him earlier.
Oh, no, he usually sucks at this, man. Uh,
I'm doing my yes
look,
chant. Yes.
I
Yes.
know. Wow. 2 weeks in a
Wow.
row, Jack. I am
Man.
proud
Woo.
of you, and Eric Hunting says story of his life. Yeah, I'm very proud of you, Jack.
All right. Thank you.
Very,
Hey, you
very
should be
proud
proud
of
of
you.
Angelo too. He's right.
I am. I'm very proud of him. I'm proud to know him
Thank
for
you.
sure. I'm going to hook up and get some personal information so we can exchange numbers and Facebook friends, and I would definitely want to play some games with
Absolutely.
him for sure.
Absolutely.
Right on.
All right, back to wrestling talk. We were boring our fans talking about video games. I talk about video games, comic books, and toys forever.
I know for a
Believe you
fact
me.
all of the listeners who are talking so far, there's at least 6 of them. They all play video games. I don't think anybody's bored.
True.
It's okay.
So,
They
and
come-
I
they
know
come-
that most of them collect toys and read comic books too, because
Right.
some of them tune in to Angry Geeks and listen to me, Jamie, excuse me, and Emily talk about comic books, toys, and action figures. So, yeah.
Right. Okay. But we will get back to wrestling. So,
Yes.
in this short period of time, Angela, do you feel like there is a certain single promotion that you consider to be your home, or is it too early for that?
I would say, honestly, I would say Blitzkrieg. You know what I'm saying? I think Leary and Skylar have been absolutely incredible to me, and I love them both. They're both just like incredible people to know. And they've given me incredible opportunities over the last couple of, over the last year, to wrestle for their promotion and just, it's been honestly incredible. I would definitely say that Blitzkrieg is my home right now. And I'm looking forward to, expanding that and branching out.
Yeah, definitely. And I totally agree. I mean, Skylar and Jeremy are just awesome people.
Yeah.
And you were actually in the ring with Jeremy. I think it was in Springfield, Mass, right at the White Lion
Yeah, it was
Brewing.
in May, last
Yeah,
May.
that was a really
Yeah, he
cool
pinned me. I
match.
still need to get my lick back.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. You'll have plenty of time, and I'm sure you
Yeah.
got many more shows ahead of you. And are you a beer drinker, or what is your?
He drinks champagne. Come on now.
Well, it might not be exclusive, Lewis. Calm down.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
No, I
Golden
am.
champagne.
I am not really a beer drinker. Recently, one of my really good friends has got me into sours.
Uh-huh.
So
What the
like,
heck was that?
Oh, Lewis, come on.
I don't drink, Jack. Have you ever known me to drink? Even
Yes.
at my wedding, I didn't drink.
You had
What?
a Corona with me one night.
Oh yeah, that's right. Just and I couldn't
yeah,
even drive. And I couldn't even drive.
sour beers. I'm starting to kind of like. I like those a little bit just because they kind of have the sweetness. Because I'm a cocktail guy. Like, give me a cocktail, give me a martini, give me a margarita.
All right.
That is who I am.
Excellent. All right. That's a great answer. I won't. All I will say is if we are both at a show in Springfield at that same venue again, I'm going to hand you a can of the amber beer that they make at White Lion.
Oh, okay.
And it's the best one I've ever had anywhere. And it is sweet. And I think it'd be right up your alley. So I'm just saying.
Ooh, okay.
That's
Definitely.
my recommendation.
Don't slip a Mickey in it.
Well, way to build that trust, Lewis. Thank you.
I can't. Lewis, I'm done with you. Okay.
Guy is nonstop. But speaking of Blitzkrieg, I had a question for you that you kind of brought up before. And I don't know how you feel, having been wrestling in many different promotions in this short span of time. But one thing that I think about Blitzkrieg that I really appreciate that Skylar and Jeremy have done is created this culture where everyone's accepted. They'll let you know ahead of the show, there's no hate talk here and there's no hate speech. And if you do, your ass gets bounced, and they mean it. And I don't know as being Black and queer would have been as acceptable 5 years ago, or even if it is right now in certain promotions. And, again, I know you've had a lot of experience in different promotions, but do you feel like it in general that's the vibe at the shows, or is Blitzkrieg?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm very, very grateful to have 90% of the promotions that I have worked at, repeatedly be, very welcoming and very inclusive. And, there is another promotion that I have worked for and, was my home promotion for quite some time, Industrial World Wrestling. And they did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, beginning of their shows, it was no hate, no, nothing like that. And I really feel like that is something that's becoming way more accepted, and something that is, and honestly, like, again, like you said earlier, like 5 years ago, being Black and queer and, may have been like a whirlwind of a situation for a promoter. But I'm so grateful to have come up not only with someone who is queer, Logan, but like to have different, promotions like Pride and Vibe, which just recently closed their doors, but Pride and Vibe, who gave me such a big opportunity last year at, Pro Wrestling Vibe. Let me get it together. Pro Wrestling Vibe, who gave me the opportunity at Pride and Vibe the weekend last year. And, I feel like just Blitzkrieg being so inclusive is really just a testament to who Jeremy and Skylar are. And it's just a testament to how things are changing. And I always want to, give people who are accepting their flowers and stuff like that. But I definitely want to give Pro Wrestling Vibe their flowers because they really are pioneers in the industry for opening the door for a lot of us to be able to walk through it and not feel like we have to dumb ourselves down or we have to change anything about ourselves to fit in on a promotion. And obviously there's still a lot of work to do, but
Right.
Right now in 2023, I'm very proud to be able to go to a Pro Wrestling Grind or go to a Blitzkrieg or go to, wherever else and feel like, okay, the promoter, okay, the people in the locker room, they have my back. To go to and enjoy wrestling, which is another one that is like absolutely wild to me that I got that opportunity last year and feel like, and be in there and know that, okay, everybody in here everybody in here is accepting and like most of the people in here are just like me. So
yeah. Well, like you said, there's still work to do, obviously, but
right.
I feel good that there's a lot of promotions where it goes without saying, like even Grind, they don't make a statement, or not Grind, I'm sorry, Wrestling Open, they don't really make a statement. But I
Right.
remember there was a night where someone was being a douche and the ring announcer was like just scolding the crowd, like, come on, like, where are you right now? And I love that. I love that it was just like, I need to reprimand your ass because you don't know where you are. And
exactly.
and people got the shit together quickly because they kind of looked around like, oh, that we don't do that here.
Right.
So anyway, it is great to see. And I mean, it's one of the things I really love about Blitzkrieg and Grind and all those other promotions.
Yeah.
So here's a question, just because we're under 10 minutes left and I didn't want to miss asking you this, but what do you think your goals are as Angelo Carter in the ring for the rest of 2023? Is there a certain promotion? Is there a certain moment? Like, what do you have on your agenda to accomplish this year?
Gold.
No, I mean, you kind of answered that for me. Definitely. I think like I want more. I'm ready for more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready for people that I've never wrestled before. I'm ready for, bigger matches, bigger opportunities. But also, I just think we should all have more fun. Let's have more fun. Let's, do things we've never done before. Let's, go and wrestle people we've never wrestled before. Let's just have more fun. Let's, tell more stories. Let's, just branch out more. And I'm ready for whatever comes my way this year. I definitely want a championship this year. Just saying. Yeah, I feel like I'm ready for more. So, let's do more.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you have anything in particular you do to keep yourself positive and centered? Because it seems like you've kind of alluded to some real positive stuff coming up, possibly some theme music, maybe a new look. Is there something that's your go-to? Like, do you do yoga? Do you have music? Do you have an activity? Is there a person? Like, what keeps you centered and positive?
I mean, I'm again grateful to have an environment like T2T where I have some of my best friends in the world. As much as we used to bicker for a little bit on Twitter, I genuinely like A Game is one of my best friends in the world. So like I'll talk to him and like we'll have conversations or whatnot, and we'll just lean on each other for support. But also my self-care for the day usually consists of listening to Renaissance at least once or twice or 100 times a day. So that's what it is for me. But keeping myself positive is I just try to keep the bigger goal in the picture. I want to make sure that I'm seeing everything and not just seeing the little picture. The little picture, yeah, it's cool. The little corner of the picture, oh, I want to be booked here. I want to be booked there. Oh, this, that, and fourth. Like, absolutely. But there's something bigger at play. There's a bigger picture here. And at the end of the day, my biggest goal is to one day work with Beyonce. So that's the big goal. And in order to get to that, that's the big picture. So we're looking at the big picture. And that's what keeps me.
My son would be such an admirer of yours if he heard you talking about this. Like he's seen you wrestle, but his very first crush was Beyonce.
Oh
And
wow.
Single Ladies, the video, just as a little boy, I remember he would want to
Oh my
watch it
gosh.
over and over.
That's so cute. That is adorable.
So next time he sees you, I'll have to let him know that's your goal because he'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
And even now, as a 16-year-old, he appreciates it in a different way.
Can you moonwalk?
I don't know what that said.
Yeah,
So here's another thing. I think this is sort of
Just
like,
say, can you moonwalk?
oh, that's a Michael Jackson reference. Come on now. So here's the last
So,
question because I don't know if
Michael Jackson rules.
we only have a few minutes. That Broadway show is great, by the way. We only have a few minutes, but where do you get the inspiration for your gear design? Do you present ideas to someone? Do you design it yourself? Like, how involved are you in that process?
So usually I'll find a look that I've gone into making it a little bit more like look like more couture fashion. So I want it to look more like a brand, like a Versace or a Balenciaga or something like that. And I'll look for like looks that some famous people have worn. Recently I've been looking at Beyonce tour looks. I've looked at some of Kim Kardashian's looks that she has done. Just a few things like that, and that's really where I pull my inspiration from. And I'll get together with Daryl Apparel, Valerie. She's absolutely fantastic. She did this recent set that I have. She's doing my next set that I have coming, which I think is going to be so cute. I can't wait. And she's really going to be doing my next few sets. And, I'll present her an idea. She'll take a look at it. She'll alter it a little bit. We'll work together. And then that's how the magic happens.
Awesome. Well, I love your gear. I think it's so
Thank
awesome.
you.
And the picture that we use to promote your appearance on our social media, I'm a huge fan of. And I just
Thank
love
you.
that consistency. Like you'll throw in like a little splash of blue sometimes. And but
Yeah.
it's that consistency is really impressive.
Yeah, I do my best to keep my colors together. That's my best Kim Kardashian pose.
So good. And by the way, like the rest of your oh God, I'm not gonna come up with the right word. But it's like you've got a little bedazzled action going on. They didn't fall off every 10 minutes. So we kind of lost track of time.
We did it.
But it was amazing. And we really thank you so much because you're genuinely such a cool dude to talk to.
Thank
and
you.
I really appreciate you taking that time.
Yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't feeling that well. I was missing a lot of cues tonight, but definitely hang out afterwards. I do want to talk to you really quick. But before we leave, please tell everyone where they can find you on Instagram, your Twitter account, and where they can find you just to hang out on Facebook. And where they can find your wrestling t-shirts, because I know you have one out there.
So I do have some t-shirts. My t-shirts are on Brainbuster Tees. The links are in all of my bios across Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram and Twitter, I am at Money Dragon TV. Both places, Money Dragon TV. That's where you can find me. I don't really use Facebook that much, but like I use it a little bit sometimes. But Instagram and Twitter is where I'm primarily. You can find me. You'll find me talking about Housewives or talking about other stuff. And yeah, t-shirts, Brainbuster Tees. Also follow my YouTube channel. I have some really cool content coming, some never before seen matches that are going to be coming, and the Keeping Up with the Dragon docu-series, which is going to be coming later on this year. So there you go.
That's a lot.
Right.
Nice. We have things to look forward to this year, Lewis.
Yes, I know. Jack, Easter's coming up. Where can people get some really cool artwork to throw in Easter baskets?
It's a great idea, Lewis. I'm glad you brought it up. If you happen to be in
I'm an idea guy.
You are. You're a talker. I'm going to be at Connecticut Collection 6, and that's going to be in Connecticut on March 25th, Chris Hebert show. So if you're on Instagram, it's Connecticut_collection. But you can come see me on Saturday. I will be hanging out from 9 to 3, doing some artwork. And I'm Jack Purcell, Inc. INK on Instagram. And I still use Facebook. But you can find me there. Just hit me up, private message. We can hook you up with some original artwork. And then we know where we could find this guy.
You can find me each and every Tuesday night with my brother from another mother, the one and only Ink Slinging Jack Purcell. You can head on over to the Angry Geek Show website, and you can click those links and you can find artwork link. Just go down there, buy some merch of Jack's. But then every Monday night, you can find me live streaming with my sister from another mister and our sidekick, the one and only Quinderella, right here.
You have been watching The Angry Geek Show on Pod TV. Visit our website today. And for guest bookings, email us at theangrygeekshow@gmail.com today.